As y'all can see, I've completed Chapter 3 of Team Affinity 100% for every division. In the comments section, I would love to see if you have any tips, tricks, or things that helped you out to get to 100%. Anything, any methods that really felt like were going fast or the best way for you to get Team Affinity done. Would love to see those down in the comments section. As always, if you enjoy the videos, feel free to consider subscribing. We've been daily uploading over 7 years in a row, so we'll have daily uploads for the foreseeable future as well, if y'all enjoy them. But I'm just going to go over what I personally did to reach 100% for each Chapter 3 division. I'm not saying this is the best way, the fastest way, most efficient, anything like that. This is just what I personally did to get to 100% to finish the Chapter 3 of Team Affinity here for Season 2. But again, it's not necessarily the best or not necessarily the fastest way. It's just what I personally did. Now, for every single division, I just started out by getting all 30 of the normal moments done. There's 5 normal moments for each team, 3,000 points apiece. That gets you to 15,000 points here in Team Affinity. You got to get to 60,000 though to unlock your first boss. But I went ahead and did each of the 30 moments, 5 per division. Now, I did not do, when I did the normal moments, I skipped over the extreme moments. And I actually only did one extreme moment for any of the divisions. It was this Delgado one. I'll get to that a little bit later. But to start each division, got to 15,000 points by doing all the normal moments. My next step was the Extreme Showdown. And I did a video on this, and I think there's already pictures. So if you're going to try the Extreme Showdown, I would recommend maybe just choosing left-handed hitters or the hitters that are best against righties, because you're only going up, at least in my experience, you're only going up against right-handed pitchers. So I did the moments, and then I did the Extreme Showdown. That had me at 35,000 points, a little bit more than halfway to that first boss pack. And I was really trying to get to that first boss pack for as many of the 6 divisions as I could, just so I could unlock the boss stat missions. You have total bases, homers, hits, extra base hits, things like that. The pitcher ones, I think, maybe were some strikeouts, but those missions can be a good chunk. 12,500 per the stat mission. So if you're able to get that done, that's a big chunk of this Team Affinity program. While you're doing those stat missions, you're also going to be getting the PXP with bosses. You're also going to be getting the PXP with just the division eligible players. But after I did the moments, after I did the showdown, my next step was to do the conquest map. Now this gets you 10,000 points, 5% for every division. And it's only a one-time thing for those points. You're not getting any vouchers or anything like that. But it was a pretty quick map, right? There's only 6 strongholds. It wasn't too bad. It didn't take too long. While I was completing Team Affinity Chapter 3, I was also finishing up the Draft Conquest map. So we had the normal Team Affinity map. I had the draft map, and then I also completed the shark map. So I'm just getting progress, PXP, stat missions, anything like that while doing the shark map, while doing the Team Affinity map, while doing the draft map, playing those games, just trying to work on as many other missions as I could. Now, the AL East did not have any pictures. If you check out the AL Central, again, there's no pictures. The National League Central, no pictures. So only the NL East, the AL West, and the NL West had any pictures. You check out the NL West, they had the Trevor Hoffman. You can see his stat mission was saves right there. I didn't do that one. But in the AL West, Raleigh Fingers, his stat one was strikeouts. So for 5 strikeouts with him, boom, that's 12,500 points. And one thing that's nice is the bosses for Team Affinity. This is one of the big things that I feel like I was focusing on while doing the conquest maps. And then once I get to this next step here in a second that I was doing, but the bosses go from Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and the Chapter 3 bosses. So even though when I started doing my conquest maps, I didn't have a boss unlocked for any of the divisions. I didn't have any of the 99 overall action figure cards. I was still able to get progress on the boss parallel XP mission. I was making sure that I was using the cards from Chapter 2, right? Chapter 2 was the All-Star Game cards. And then if we go down and check Chapter 1, that was a little bit of a mix and match. They had the 89 overalls, but I was making sure for my lineups for Chapter 3 of Team Affinity, when I was grinding out these conquest maps, I was only using previous bosses. I wasn't using live series, tops now, anything like that. I was using the bosses so that I could always be getting this repeatable parallel XP mission done. And I would say the mission that probably got me the most progress, in addition to that repeatable boss one right there for the parallel XP, is if you go down to the general missions. And the general mission that helped, I mean, there was home runs and hits. Those are repeatable. Those were nice. but the strikeouts with season 2 eligible players. It's not just the bosses. I was only using the bosses so I could be kind of killing a few birds with one stone at the same time. But while I was getting that parallel XP with the bosses, I was always using a pitcher from the division I was trying to get done. Before I unlocked any of the bosses, I was just using pitchers that fit those divisions, which really would be anybody. Once, say, I got the NL West boss pack, Trevor Hoffman, I was using him as a pitcher from there. If we check out the American League West, I was using Raleigh Fingers from there. If we check out the NL East, I was using, I don't think it was Greg Maddux. I think I really only used Tom Seaver from there. But once I got the bosses, I was using those pitchers. But whenever I had a division that wasn't completed, I was making sure to use from one of those non-finished divisions. I was making sure to use a pitcher while I was grinding Conquest, while I was grinding mini seasons, so that I could be getting that repeatable strikeout mission done. But this strikeout mission for me was by far the most useful one. That's getting you 5% every time that you get it done. And Conquest games are 3 innings long, right? So that's going to be 9 outs. So I could get this every 2 games or so. Now, once I finished the Conquest maps that I was working on, I think I did the draft map, then this Conquest map, and then the Shark map. Once I finished that, I think I had maybe the NL West and maybe one other division done. I know I had at least one division, though, at 100% after doing those Conquest maps. And my next step was to stay in single player modes, but this time I was working on mini seasons. I did a full Team Affinity Season 2 mini season, and I think by the end of that, I had 2 divisions left, the AL East and the AL Central. That's why I started this one. You can see 9-0. It took me 9 extra games to finish those final 2 divisions. They went pretty fast, just being able to focus on each specific division. And you'll notice every 4 mini seasons games that I win, that's 1 voucher I was able to exchange in Team Affinity. If you make it to the playoffs, that's 3 vouchers just for making the playoffs that you can use. And then for winning the championship, that's 4 additional vouchers. So you get the 7 from the playoffs. And then every 4 games during the season and the playoffs that you win, that's going to be an extra voucher. So I was getting the progress. I was playing these 3-inning games on mini seasons, trying to get the parallel XP missions, trying to get the stat missions if I could, focusing on those, keeping track of those, trying to make my lineup in order of those. I was also getting those general missions, hits and homers just naturally, strikeouts, making sure I had a pitcher ready to go. So while I was grinding mini seasons, I was getting those vouchers you exchanged for 3,500 apiece, but I was also making sure to only use players that would be helping me out for the PXP missions, the boss stat missions, those general missions, total bases, strikeouts, hits, homers. The same thing I was doing in Conquest, I was doing it in mini seasons, just trying to make sure I'm not wasting any ABs, wasting any strikeouts. I just didn't want to really be wasting any of my time while playing these. You might have heard me talking about in some pack openings, I was thinking about doing the exchanges. I decided not to do any exchanges. I'm thinking I might for Season 3, Chapter 1, just maybe get rid of my commons that way, just to try to get it done as fast as I can once that new season starts. But I didn't do any exchanges just because I was able to get it done, I felt like, pretty quickly, just grinding out Conquest, grinding out mini seasons, doing these missions that they had. And I felt like it was pointless. If I could maybe be saving those exchanges for a later date, or even just selling the cards for some stubs that I would have exchanged, I figured that was a better option for me. But really, it all boils down to, I started with the moments and then the extreme showdown just to get myself a little bit of progress, try to work towards those first bosses already. I caught up on all the Conquest maps that I had. I specifically made sure to do this chapter's Conquest map, and once I finished that, the rest of my grind was literally just mini seasons. And I think after the first mini season that I did, I was super close, or maybe like within 10,000 points of getting another AL East boss pack. So I was like, okay, before I start a new mini season, I'm going to at least try this extreme moment. It didn't seem too bad for me with Delgado on Hall of Fame, 125 power, I think, versus at least righties. Like, it felt like it should be pretty easy for me if I just sat down and focused to get those 2 homers. I restarted until I had a homer on the first at bat, and once I got that homer the first AB, I knew, okay, the rest of this moment, all I got to do is hit one more home run, maybe luck into one more homer. And that one only took me a few attempts and ended up getting me another boss that I was able to use in that second mini season, which I think it took 9 games. And doing all that, the full mini season, and then the 9 games in the second one, I ended up getting to 100% for each Team Affinity division. And if y'all like pack openings, you might have seen yesterday's pack opening had literally one of my best pulls ever, my second best pull of this entire year. We had a lot of packs in that video. we ran out of them, and we already have more packs to go. Some millionaires, some headliners, 22 ball-ins, 88 standards. So if you like pack openings, there might be another one as soon as tomorrow. Now, I also want to go ahead and take a look at the calendar. We can see there's a Moments of Glory program coming out, I think maybe tomorrow. So that might delay the pack opening a little bit because we'll probably go over that. And then later on in the week, there's a Moonshot program as well as a new Moonshot event. Also on the 16th, our season awards drop number 10 and the update to ranked season. So you're able to get to that World Series pack. But then the 29th, season 3 is already starting on the 29th. At the time of recording this video, it's 17 days. I think the day you're seeing this is probably 16 days. So season 3 is coming up fast. I know I was talking a little bit in this video about, you know, the exchanges. I might save them for season 3. To me, it doesn't seem like it's already going to be season 3, right? You know, only a few weeks away. I think it's going to be 2 weeks from Thursday or Friday. And that's just crazy to me how fast it's coming up. And we'll have Chapter 1 of Team Affinity for Season 3. We'll probably have some new programs. We'll be having that power creep reset. I think we would probably be back to like 89s, 90s, maybe 91 overalls. You know, doing that power creep like we did in the first 2 seasons. And that's coming up on us pretty fast. But I'm interested to see in the comment section if there was anything you felt like worked really well for Chapter 3 of Team Affinity. Maybe any recommendations you would have for others. I might take a look at it myself and see if there's anything that I didn't think of or that seems like it would be really good for me to maybe get through the Season 3, Chapter 1 of Team Affinity as fast as possible. Because Season 2, haven't really been doing much. I have not played an online game, and I'm planning on playing ranked seasons or an event, just playing an online game for a video coming up here soon. But I actually checked my game history, and the last day that I played an online game of MLB The Show 24 was July 5th. We're well past over a month ago, man. It's been a long time since I played an online game, so I definitely want to be getting that going soon. I've got a whole bunch of new cards to try out, to debut, collections to hopefully finish, but I'm thinking I want to stay a little bit more on top of Season 3 than I did Season 2. Try to finish Team Affinities ASAP, try to get programs done ASAP, try to get through ranked seasons, events, BR programs, debut cards for y'all, do team builds. I just really want to be playing more MLB The Show, having better videos, getting the new cards faster, everything like that. I just want to really stay up to date, stay caught up with Season 3 because I did not do that at all for Season 2. And I really just don't want Season 3 to go how Season 2 went for me. But looking forward to reading y'all's comments. As always, if you enjoy the videos, hey, feel free to drop a like. Consider subscribing if you enjoy the videos. We daily upload on the channel. But thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's daily upload.